Hi, I'm Lauren Green, and welcome to A Spirited Debate. All eyes will be on the field on Sunday during the 51st annual Super Bowl. But meanwhile, there is a larger issue that comes into play surrounding the big events that lurks in the shadows. Human trafficking, also known as modern-day slavery, sex and labor trafficking. They're crimes under state, federal, and international law, and still is the second largest type of criminal activity after the illegal drug trade. Joining me today is Kendall Altmyer, who started an organization called The Penny Story, where a simple coin has the power to bring awareness and hopefully an end to human trafficking. Welcome, Kendall.
Yes. Well, thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, so if we are fighting a worldwide injustice, how does a penny come into play?
That is a great question. I never looked at pennies any differently until I was in college, sitting in one of my classes called Human Trafficking in America, and the professor kind of described pennies being comparable to victims of human trafficking. And that is because pennies in our society, if you think about it, they're pretty worthless, they're cheap, they're disposable, and victims of human trafficking feel much like that. They feel overlooked, very disposable, very worthless. And so I knew after hearing that analogy, I would never see a penny the same again. And ever since then, I've been picking pennies up off the ground and praying for them, asking that freedom would be brought to this worldwide injustice.
And you've created a whole line of jewelry and other items out of pennies. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
Wow,
we have done that.
So you've been selling those as well, right?
Yes, we do. We sell bracelets, we sell necklaces, we sell key rings for people who don't like to wear jewelry. Any kind of way to bring awareness. We use the tiny coin to just show that something deemed insignificant is actually worthy, and it has been able to donate thousands of dollars to the A21 campaign, which is an organization that seeks to abolish modern-day slavery, and so we really are using a coin to fight a worldwide injustice.
You know, some people might wonder, why are we tying in the Super Bowl with human trafficking? But one of the magnets for human traffickers are big sports events where a lot of, men will come there and, they'll just be free of certain kinds of, inhibitions in their own hometowns. And they might actually want to have sex with a prostitute and assume that this woman is doing it on her own free will. But that's not necessarily the case.
Absolutely. A lot of sex trafficking victims, they don't want to be victims. There are prostitutes that choose prostitution as a way of life, but with events such as the Super Bowl, there will be thousands of girls brought in to be sold at these events because, just as you said, men come, they're away from their families, they're ready to spend money, they're ready to have fun, and they're not thinking about this girl that is seemingly approaching me and putting herself on me is actually someone that's in slavery and bondage and needs a way out. He sees it as she is making herself available, therefore she wants to do this. But when in reality, with events as big as the Super Bowl, there's girls brought in from all over the country to be sold by their pimp to men that are just looking for a good time.
Is that the major difference between human trafficking in America as opposed to Europe?
Yes, in Europe, girls would be able to self-identify as victims because trafficking in Europe is done through deceit and manipulation, such as a man comes to maybe Bulgaria and tells a village where there's no running water and no hope of a future. He could tell the girls there, hey, if you'll come back to Greece with me and work in my restaurant over the summer, you can give your money back to your family and support your family. And that girl would say, absolutely, let me come work for you in Greece. And then when she gets to Greece to work in that restaurant, tables turn. It's not a restaurant she's working in at all. It's actually a brothel. So victims in Europe, they know they're a victim typically, whereas in America, it doesn't look the same. It's very much like the Romeo trafficker, where the older men who are traffickers can prey on the younger girls and wine and dine them, buy them food, buy them clothes, give them shelter, to where the girl actually falls in love with them. And she wouldn't really self-identify as, I'm a victim of a crime and I need help. She would be seeing it as, I love my boyfriend and I'm helping him pay the bills, or I'm helping him do what he needs to do to survive.
There is a documentary. Tell us about the documentary.
Yes, we have a documentary called Common Sense, and Common Sense tells the story of how we are using a penny to abolish human trafficking, not only in America, but globally. But this documentary also brings awareness to human trafficking in Europe, because that's where I worked. I was able to live in Greece and work with the A21 campaign, fighting human trafficking, working with the survivors. So it tells the story of human trafficking in Europe and America, and how you do not have to be someone significant to make a significant difference in the world and try to do your part in fighting a worldwide injustice.
Wow, and the penny really has taken off, right?
Yes, it absolutely has. We went from about 3 years ago selling about 10 bracelets in my tiny hometown of Gulf Shores, Alabama, to selling thousands upon thousands of bracelets when a well-known singer-songwriter in the Christian industry by the name of Carrie Job picked up the bracelet. She heard about the penny story, loved it. She started selling the bracelets, and we went from selling just a couple of bracelets in a small town, Alabama, to selling thousands of bracelets around the world and able to give thousands of dollars to the A21 campaign,
Wow.
which is amazing.
Wow. Kendall, thank you so much, and thank you so much for the work that you're doing.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And for more information or to support The Penny Story, go to thepennystory.com. I'm Lauren Green, and thanks for watching A Spirited Debate.